Hey guys, welcome to the Live Well, brought to you by Digital Sportsman, where we get together with our community and talk fishing. The show's fixing to start, we're getting everything ready. But in the meantime, we want to tell you about our fine partners that not only make this show possible, but are companies that we absolutely love and stand behind. Groove Fishing, changing the norm of tackle storage. Sonar Pros, specializing in high-end installations across all electronic brands. Go where the pros go. Lipsticker Fishing, specializing in putting clients on giant Lake Lanier bass. Bill Payne's Guide Service, fish with a legend on Lake Allatoona, seasonal smallmouth trips, or even get your sonar dialed in. Brooks Anderson Fishing, guide trips and educating today's anglers on Lake Lanier. Big League Charters, fish with a pro on Tellico, Fort Loudon, Watts Bar, and Chickamauga. Money Saver Lure Retriever, designed to break your lure free from almost any snag. Fishers of Hope, benefit fishing tournaments to help people in need. Serve IT, industry-leading IT services for your business. Change the way you manage IT. Turner Tire, Jasper, Georgia's most trusted family-owned tire center. Atlanta Safe House, the trusted source for safes and gun safes in Tennessee, Georgia, Kentucky, and Alabama. And of course, Digital Sportsman, a new way to discover and book unforgettable outdoor experiences with local trusted guides. Go to fngo.com to get direct links to all our fine partners. Get ready, and let's talk fishing. All right, everybody, it is time for the Live Well here at FNGO this Thursday night. Appreciate you guys joining us. Seeing some of you guys in the comments section having a little technical difficulties with the TikTok side of things, so hopefully we'll get that figured out. But, hey, we're more worried about your YouTube guys anyway, right? So glad you guys could join us. You never know what you're going to get on TikTok.
You never know.
You never know. But glad you guys could join us tonight. I think we have a very interesting show. We're going to talk Guntersville, Grass Lakes, Ultimate Angler Tournament, anything else you guys want to talk about when it comes to those type of lakes or that, how do you want to say, that event? Well, not this weekend, but next weekend.
Yes.
This weekend, the MPFL is at Hartwell. They've got that one. And, but anyway, let's take care of a little bit of business before we get into the conversation. Of course, we've been talking about the Toys for Tots, right? There is an announcement about their Allatoona event. Big Shanty Bassmasters had a like what I call a sister event on Allatoona. It is being canceled. It was November 1st. There will be no tournament on November 1st. And I believe, and I had it written down, and excuse me, I forgot the exact name of the program they were helping. It was not Toys for Tots, but due to a lack of sponsorship and everything, and it being so late in the game, that is not going to happen now. So if you were planning on fishing the Allatoona event, come on over December 6th to Lanier because that event is on. And you can join us for the Toys for Tots event right there. And DP, Purdue, you're up there in the comment section. Give me that, if I said anything wrong on that. Hope for Christmas. I should have remembered that one. It's been a long afternoon, my man. But anyway, not going to happen. So we welcome all those guys. If you're listening to this at a later date, hey, come on over and fish with us on Lake Lanier. It's a better lake anyway. I had to throw that in there. So I'm just playing with everybody. So anyway, got my buddy Dave right here beside me. We'll see if TikTok picks up this time. If not, everybody's just going to have to watch us on YouTube. And it looks like that's the case. Unless you want to go over there and press that red button.
I will.
You'll go press that red button right there. Kevin, how you doing tonight?
Doing great. How about yourself?
I am just fat and happy. That one on that little bitty camera right there. Like, look, dude. On the screen. Like, it's a phone, hit live. Yeah, hit go live. There you go.
It's on the phone. He said camera. I thought it was camera too, Dave. So
that's because y'all were old. All right, so Jeremy Conkright, G-Bill will be packed with G-Man and the Ultimate Angler Tournament at the same time.
Yes, it will.
It's going to. And it ought to be very interesting. So what we're going to do, YouTube is better anyway, but we've got them going on. So what we're going to do, though, we'll start off with the Guntersville grass ways to fish it. And any of you guys have any questions, bring it for us. That's right. Hey, see, Danny, it's like this night is like started off wrong with my cameras being messed up and all that. So I did forget that. Phoenix Boats, first flight, has tournament rewards as well. If you win the Toys for Tots and you drive a Phoenix boat as well as do a couple other little things that they require, you will get an extra. And I believe, Danny, correct me if I'm wrong, $500. Is that right? I believe it's $500. So just correct me. We'll get it all figured out. Now, Kevin.
Yes.
Aaron wants to know how you did last week fishing. You guys, I told you on the lunch break you may or may not have heard about it, but he was going to go and he had a flat tire the next day.
I got up that morning and went out there, and boat was all ready to go, and I ran around to put the motor toter on and saw my skag was sitting on the ground, and I'm petrified. I don't need to bend that thing or break it. So I run around to the other side, turn the power on and get the motor up, and noticed my back tire was flat.
Mm-hmm.
So I called Danny because I knew that there were people waiting at me the ramp possibly. And at 9 o'clock, I took the tire off and took it down to a tire store, and they don't patch trailer tires. So I had to order a new one, and I'm not about to go anywhere with just 4 tires and not have a spare. I've seen Clint do that too many times.
Clint does it, yeah.
So they ordered me a tire to come in Monday. Of course, it didn't come in Monday. It came in Wednesday this morning, and I put it on last night and went out this morning.
He got on the water finally.
And it was pretty rough out there, a lot rougher than I was hoping for my back and all. So I just rode around a little bit and then went into the coves and started playing with electronics and so forth just to get dialed back in again. But it was great to be out there. Appreciate you asking.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm happy for you again. I was happy.
We'll be going a lot more now.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad you got back on there. Now on that Phoenix thing, Danny says it depends on the motor and the horsepower. I will get that posted for you guys as well. We got a little bit of time. So I got my buddy Dave Aldridge right here beside me, who fishes Guntersville a lot. And we're going to pick his brain a little bit. And then as you guys go and you want to know a little bit about the Ultimate Angler, Guntersville, whatever, that's just what's going on. And also, too, tonight is the draw, and the first one that we are going to have, and we're going to start doing this monthly. If you are a member, not a subscriber, but a member of the channel, you will get a chance each month in a drawing for a pretty decent prize. And so tonight when we do the drawing, it will be for a JC Elite bait casting reel, and I believe it's the 541. We're going to do the cranking one, and we'll do that closer to the question of the night, and we'll also give away a little prize for that as well. But this is something we're going to be doing every single month, so we appreciate you guys supporting the channel. If you guys like it, it costs you about a cup of coffee, and you can support us. If you're at the $4.99, you get one ticket. If you're at $9.99 because you really like us, you like us twice as good as the $4.99 guys, the Happy Meal, you get 2. So we've got all of them in a box, everybody's name. We're going to draw that out, and we'll give that prize away as well. So Kent says, I feel like me and Father Time fished out of the same boat for 30 years. Same answers and everything. I will tell you this, look, if yours is as clean as his is, you know, there's something wrong. I mean, you can have OCD and you can be Father Time. That's the cleanest boat I've ever been in my entire life. Brand new. Looks like it just rolled off the showroom. Let's see. Glad Danny let me know you didn't miss anything. Wouldn't bite. So he was the one at the ramp that morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doug was. That's right.
Okay. So on that Phoenix contingency, any model year and a 200 horsepower, if you were to win the Toys for Tots, you get an extra $400.
And then there's that one. It's the 250 is 500.
Staggered. 250.
It's staggered. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's staggered. So, hey, listen, if you're in a Phoenix, you got a shot for some extra money. So if you won it and then got big fish like Charlie Adams did last year, and that you probably could walk away with over $8,000 first place. That's a nice little Saturday in December. So he's got it right there. Cranking, yanking, how you doing, buddy? Let's talk some grass. Let's talk about what they're doing out at Guntersville. And again, Dave took me out to Guntersville for the first time. Still, appreciate you, Doc Holliday. Still, I remember the first time like we started casting, the amount of grass being so different than anything I've ever fished before in my life. And of course, I was in the boat with you.
Yep.
And you know, what all kind of grass is actually in Guntersville?
It's got hydrilla, they got milfoil, eelgrass. That's the one that gives everybody the fits. Because the strand of eelgrass that we have is it's not what they have in Florida where Kevin's from, but it has a very short root system. So if you take off across the eelgrass flat or high spot or something like that, it'll actually pull it up and it starts floating. And then you have a mess because you'll pull it, especially in the summertime, you'll pull up on an offshore place and they're stacked up there and you throw a crankbait in there, you can't get a bait through it. So, you know, that's when the jig and spoon comes in and all that kind of stuff. But those are the main 3 that we have.
Right.
Like I said, the hydrilla and the milfoil, they got a lot of that up around the Goose Pond area. That's what comes up in mats where
Right.
they're actually punching.
my gosh, it was so much. Now, of course, Purdue says getting froggy with it, and then Conkright says punch it or frog it and keep moving. So that time we were there. Oh, David Weaver, I thought you were talking yard grass because mine needs cut bad. I understand, buddy. I really trust me. I was there all summer long. It's just too daggum hot to go out and cut grass. We didn't throw the frog. You might have thrown it a little bit. I know Farmer threw it a little bit, right?
They threw the frog and punched.
And we punched the second day.
Yes.
I ain't about that punching life. That's a little bit different. Now, we didn't have a lot of time, and we talked about it before the show. My feet were hurting.
Yeah.
But it was very interesting to actually try it. Now, you haven't been to Guntersville, but did y'all punch and do stuff like that in Florida?
Sure. Okeechobee and then Lake Tahoe,
So,
Kissimmee.
so you're familiar with all this?
Absolutely.
Okay, there you go. So then both of you can answer this question. How big of a weight does Dave use to punch? Y'all heard that. That's one of our followers right there. They honk every time they go by. How big of a weight do you use?
I use the smallest weight I can get away with. I usually start with a 3/4 ounce.
A 3/4 ounce.
Usually. The bigger the weight, the more likely you are to blow that fish's mouth open when you set the hook on him. And like I said, if you get, and sometimes you got to go to 1.5 ounce, 2 ounce, but the bigger the smaller the weight, it helps you not blow that fish's mouth open and you not be able to get a hook in him.
Okay. So you'll start off with a 3/4 if possible.
Usually.
Okay. What about you?
I go along with what Dave said, but I think that's why the bobber stopper came into play later on in the game of punching, because it allows that weight to slide up a little bit where that fish sucks the bait in. So you don't have that big heavy weight inside their mouth.
Yeah. What would you use? What would you start off with?
I'd go with the lightest weight I could get into, but it'd probably be an ounce is what I would start with and go up to 2.
Okay. So Jeremy Conkright says 3/4 to 1.5 ounces.
Yeah.
That was the first thing I noticed being different. I had never punched before. This was my first time. We fished the day before, but Sunday or Saturday, whichever was that last day we were there, that was when you were going to show me how to punch.
Right.
And so what was that we had on? What type of bait did we have on that day?
Was that specifically to hydrilla?
Ask him. I have
It was
no idea.
hydrilla.
Hydrilla, yes. Pepper grass, eelgrass, that kind of stuff. You can punch through with a 1/2 ounce to 3/4 easy.
Yeah.
We were in hydrilla.
We were in hydrilla. The only time I really use the bigger weights I've used 1.5 ounces, 2 ounces is actually on Toledo Bend and Rayburn. And the reason being is because it's deeper.
Yeah.
Where at Guntersville, you may be punching through something that might only be 1.5 foot, 2 foot deep. So once it goes through there, it's on the bottom. But up there, we would punch stuff. It might be 5 or 6 foot up under there, and you want that fast rate of fall. That's what I would use to get that extra fall rate.
And what did you say we were throwing? What was on the back of it?
I think we were throwing probably either a sweet beaver or some sort of crawbait.
Okay. I know it's been a hot minute. Jeremy says I punch with a 1 ounce jig a lot too. I can see that. Now Coleman wants to know, do y'all punch on straight braid?
100%.
No, I used to.
I knew it was going to be different tonight. So you do.
I do.
You do. What weight were you?
50.
50-pound braid?
Yeah.
Right,
I would today if I still was back in Florida, but I don't punch up here at all because I haven't been on any really grass lakes.
Right.
But I used big game back there.
Good old mono, baby.
25-pound big game.
Yeah, we started with copolymer or mono and then copolymer. When they wasn't braid then, when they came out with
There was
braid,
no
it
braid
changed the
30
game.
years ago before I came up here.
Well, that's true.
Right.
Now let me ask you, what brand of braid do you like best for punching?
Suffix 832.
Suffix 832. And if you were using braid today and not good old, Berkeley big game, what would you use?
Bass Pro Shops or XPS braid.
XPS braid. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Tony, I don't want to leave you out of this conversation. Do you punch at all?
I don't punch at all.
You don't punch at all?
Nope.
Okay, so we'll get with you when we start talking about scoping and all that.
Yeah, that's fine. Jerk bait. Jerk bait.
Jerk bait. We'll do that too. Jeremy uses 65-pound braid. Matthew Smith. Taking a trip to Guntersville the weekend after the Ultimate Angler Tourney, hoping for a good frog bite. How's that bite been so far this year, Dave?
It's actually been pretty good. I've seen a lot of posts of guys catching frogfish. I think in the Spro tournament they had 10 bags over 20, which doesn't sound like a lot for Guntersville. I think the 21 right at 22 won it. But on a frog, if you get 20 blowups in a boat in a day, that's a pretty good day frog fishing.
Yeah.
And you're probably going to lose 34% of those. They just don't get the bait or whatever. You get them hung up, they pull off. They're catching them on it. It's been up the river. I honestly haven't gone up there and frog fished a ton. I've been catching most of my fish on the south, middle end of the lake.
Yeah. So his house is in Guntersville, in the city of Guntersville.
Yep, Spring Creek.
And I was talking to a guy today. When you go under that bridge, is there a dog food factory? What was it?
Yes.
Okay, I told him, I said, I was telling him where we went out, and I said,
Yep.
There's a dog food factory or something. They put them on the barges or whatever. And he was looking at me like I was crazy.
Yeah, my niece says it smells like mashed potatoes.
I can't
When
smell
they
something.
came down, she said, "Oh, it smells like mashed potatoes."
Mashed
But yeah,
potatoes.
it's the first bridge when you come into Big Spring Creek proper. That's the one at the dog food plant. The next one's the Publix. By the Publix, that's where Randy won the classic.
That's that bridge
By the Publix.
at that bridge. So that's where he won it.
Yes.
I remember you telling me that. And it was GTO. That was where we went. That's
That's
that
on
bridge, right?
Nope, that's on the Browns Creek side. When you go across the long causeway, that's where Hank Cherry won the classic.
Yep.
See, that's what I was thinking was Hank Cherry. There was a bridge, a very low-lying bridge.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a
That's
big
where
causeway, and it's got one little entrance to cut through right in the middle.
That's exactly. Okay, so that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
You told me somewhere about Hank Cherry and all that. 832 is good stuff. Pop up that one comment that just half of it's out right above. Go on up, see. Okay, yeah, there we go. Coleman wants to know, what kind of rod do y'all use? Sorry for so many questions, but I'm very curious about this. And listen, Coleman,
Don't apologize.
ask 152 questions tonight because it makes my job easier when you guys ask questions.
Everybody else is thinking it. Just
Yeah, they're
ask
all
it.
thinking. If y'all got a question, throw it out there.
Yep.
All right. What kind of rod do you use? I bet it's a Falcon.
Imagine that.
I bet it's a
Imagine that.
Falcon
Look
rod.
at there. It's somewhere over here.
It's
we go.
there. Falcon rod.
It is. It's a 7.3 Amistad.
Amistad. 7.3 Amistad. That's for frogs or punching. What did he say?
That's for punching. I throw a frog on a 7-foot lizard dragger. It's got a little softer tip. It's easier to work a frog.
Okay.
The Amistad's my rig rod.
I got you. Okay, for sure. 832 is good stuff. Oh, cranking and yanking uses the old Power Pro.
I used a bunch
Listen,
of
I
it.
like
Yeah.
Power Pro, but again, not cranking and yanking. I'm more finesse, but I loved it, and I like the high vis yellow, but it fades. That's my only thing.
That's why we got rid of it years ago, because it turned white.
Mhm.
We go to Toledo in springtime catching them big ones, and after a day or two, you had to.
Does the green fade as well?
It used to. I hadn't thrown it. I hadn't thrown Power Pro in 15
great
years.
braid, cast good,
Yeah,
but I
it's
use yellow
tough.
to see.
Right.
You know, and it was gone.
Yep.
David Weaver says he only uses Suffix 832 or cast braid. For sure, I get that. Dave, do you use a punch skirt as well?
I do not.
Okay.
Never have.
Do you when you
No.
do? Okay, no. All right. Aiden on TikTok wants to know, what is your favorite bed fishing bait? A little out of season, but we'll answer that. You're gonna bed fish tomorrow. What would you be throwing? Tony, you can jump in on this one too.
Kevin needs to throw his out there. He loves bed fishing.
Yeah, Kevin. I know you got it.
That was the first episode I was on.
Yeah.
Uh,
Kevin don't like the bed fish, Aiden.
I like a Zoom Viper Crawl.
Okay. Fair
Green
enough. That's a good choice. Tony?
I mean, I don't really bed fish, not knowingly, so I'm throwing my normal baits in there no matter what. I don't knowingly go bed fishing.
Okay.
Okay.
I like Alka Seltzer and some pantyhose
Yeah.
on a 5-aught EWG. No. I tell you what, I mean, I throw a lot of things. Oh, wacky works.
It does.
Just a weightless wacky.
I mean, I
What?
get
And lizard works great too. What's the best square bill crankbait? I like the OG6 for Paula. All right. We're throwing out some other questions on TikTok. What's y'all's favorite square bill crankbait?
KVD 1.5.
Okay. Any color?
Well, I'd go with the shad color for the lakes I'm on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
I like the Rapala stuff.
The what?
The Rapala.
DD.
The Rapala, man. Come on.
Rapala.
Rapala. Gosh, dog. I'm not even
I'm
talking.
with you, Dave.
I'm not even talking to both of you. Y'all probably say crappie too.
Nope. Sacalay.
Okay. Sacalay. I forgot you. Cajun ass.
Specs.
What about you, Tony? Real quick. What's your favorite square bill?
Rapala stuff.
Rapala stuff?
Yeah.
I
I say
love
it the
you.
right way.
That's exactly right. Damn right you did. Aiden, we'll get on the high school stuff here in a little bit. I got to jump back over here on the YouTube questions. Let's see. Them fish are tired of seeing frogs after the Spro tournament.
That's for sure.
I'm sure they saw a bunch of them. Adam wants to know, what are the best places to camp at Guntersville? And I imagine that lake's pretty big. There's got to be some. a
They
bunch of good
are.
spots.
I see a lot up around the state park.
I was gonna say state park.
And they also, for I think some of the kayakers, I think they got an actual separate launch for the kayaks. I saw something posted up there.
They did that just so their ass would get out of the way of the boat ramps.
That's what I'm
I'm
thinking.
playing kayak, guys.
No, you're not.
I'm playing kayak. No, I'm playing.
I'm glad
but
you're saying
I think they put in right and floated right over top of the brim beds.
Yeah.
There's that. I want to say there's another place on up the lake. Let me think on it. I may
Okay.
remember it.
Jeremy says on his rod, he uses Coleman. He uses a 7.4 to 7.6 heavy action rod.
Mm-hmm.
Where would Dave put in to find productive mats?
Mink Creek and North. That's where the most of the mats are. Once you put in at Mink, there's grass everywhere, and then you got there is just a very small channel to get out of Goose Pond that we can run boats through, and both sides of that's mat all the way up the river, Miracle Mile, all that's matted up, and then there's a cut that goes up by the BB Comer on the north side, all that's matted up.
I've got a follow-up question to that.
Go.
So mat fishing like that,
Mhm.
you go in the area where there's lots of mat. How do you break that down to find where the productive spots are at?
You mean give my answer?
Well, yeah, go for it.
You don't.
You want the Danny Pruitt answer?
Go
You
for
just throw that shit everywhere and hope you find something.
I mean, are you looking for other structure the lake has and using the mats off of that and basically just regular, breaking out of the lake regularly and just, hey, would the mats happen to be there? Or is you just going to go park in a spot and fish your little heart out until you find something? I'm serious. It's a serious question.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of times what I'll do is look at contours. Maybe they have a ditch that runs through there. Maybe there's a high spot, some sort of contour. And a lot of times you just got to put your foot down on the trolling motor and start flipping. And once you get a bite, what does that look like? Get your C maps or whatever navionics you use and figure out, hey, is this next to a ditch? Is it next to the main river? A lot of those fish are pushing up on that main river right now, big time. And they're just congregated up there because that's where all the bait is. So it may be, is it close to the river? Is it close to a creek channel that goes through there? Is it a turn? And just try to figure out if there's any irregularities and then start trying to make that a pattern.
What about depth too? Does that have as much to do with it?
I don't think so because it's all dirt shallow.
True.
It may a little bit.
4 foot would it make a difference?
It may, yeah. If it's really hot, it may. I don't know right now. Hell, I've seen them in the old days at Rayburn. They would get in a whole cove would mat up. They would take a boat and run it till it wouldn't run anymore, and just let it shut down, and they just start punching, and they grind their way out and go to another place and just start punching. So a lot of times it's just getting up in the middle of it, and maybe a rhyme or reason there may not be.
I got you, but when you get those first few bites, and you can at least try to
Put something together.
Because other than that, Tony, to me it was just like, hey, there's a bunch of grass.
I mean, there's a lot of grass at Guntersville.
Yeah, just throw that thing in there, let it go through, pop, 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 nothing, pop. And that's what was different for me.
Yeah.
It was really different too. Let's say I've always heard that you want a heavy rod, but still have to have some tip for punching.
You do.
Yeah.
You want a rod that loads well. Because here's the deal. When you're punching, you don't want to slack line that fish.
Right.
Especially if you're using a snell knot. Somebody just posted about that. I don't remember who it was. If you use a snell knot, basically when he bites it, you just basically just lean back real hard and let that rod load, and that's what keeps the fish pinned. If you slack line him with a big weight in a snell, a lot of times you're going to blow it out.
Gotcha.
You're not going to get a hook in him.
Gotcha. Aiden, as far as the Georgia Bass Nation high school schedule, I actually have not even looked at it. Now that I was able to read a little bit, I don't even know what the schedule is. Feel free to put it on there. And if we have some thoughts, we will definitely throw it out there.
I've got an old All-Star 8-foot heavy action rod, and it's got a limber tip. That's what I used to
That's what you
punch with. Yeah.
used to use. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. When you say frog, are you using that in a general description? Does that include a mouse as well, or a frog is a frog?
No, it can be anything like that. If it's got holes, I'm throwing a fluke in there.
Now, that I've seen them do. That I can believe.
That is a big deal on Toledo Bend in the next month. When you get over places like that, it's got a sparse hydrilla in it, and that stuff's got holes in it, throw a watermelon red fluke in there with a green tail, they will chomp it.
What was you throwing when we were there? You threw a fluke a little bit on Guntersville. We were throwing on the edge, though, of grass, right? You would chuck it in a hole, but we were like, if we went into a cove that had grass, we were 7 foot of water, and all the grass, everything's 5 foot. But you get to an edge. There were times I remember you'd work a fluke along that, right?
I might have. I don't remember.
Sorry. West Point Lake, November 1st. Ought to be good. They should be chomping, throwing topwater down there. Cranking and yanking. I don't have a problem with fading. We're talking about the Power Pro, but I change it out often, probably at least monthly. You change your braid out monthly. Hey, listen, somebody making some money. Really, I've never heard of anybody. Okay, Tony, we'll start. How often do you change out your braid? Honestly,
when I changed out to cast this last time, I mean, I if I'm retying, once it gets down to where I'm starting to, come up short on my cast, is about the only time I change it out. Honestly,
okay.
I mean, it's forever.
What about you?
Well, at least once a year.
You'll change it once a year,
Usually, unless it starts fading bad too, and then I'll
is it because of the fade?
Usually, but where he is, it's a little harder on braid. I think he said it was from around Caddo. I fished up there.
Yeah, that's where. Yeah.
And it's trees and stumps, so you do get a little more abrasion on it than you would in just straight grass.
Right.
We used to fish braid down there. I changed about every 6 months.
Cranking yanking. Just out of curiosity, what pound braid do you throw? And what about you?
Yearly.
Yearly.
I do it every year.
I've had that cast on my spinning reel for 2 years.
It's nothing wrong with it.
Well, I don't fish as often as you guys do.
But I mean,
maybe if I was on the water a lot more, I might.
I do. That is my job between Christmas and New Year's. I unspool 30-something rods, respool everything up for the what we got going on. And if I'm fishing a ton, a lot of times I'll do it again in June on certain rods if I'm using a lot.
I do November.
Oh, November is your month to do?
Yeah, because our tournament season starts December.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I do mine November.
That makes a lot of sense.
But, if you're only putting 50, 60 yards on, it's not that bad.
No, it's not. It's not. But I do know, I put half a spool of cast on that one. So, I didn't back it with anything. It's it's just, Hey, listen, I was in a hurry. Tim Hancock said, I switched from Power Pro to the P-Line and Durex, no fade braid. I love it. I've heard some good stuff about that. I haven't thrown it, but I've heard some good stuff about it. Matthew Smith. Fishing grass mats. Would you start with deeper mats near the river channel or further back in the creeks? And let's go with right now. If you were going this week or you were fishing the Ultimate Angler.
What I've seen right now, I'd start out on the river.
The deeper ones.
Because there's a ton of bait out there.
Yeah.
And then I'd start working my way back in.
There you go.
They're shallow, I promise you. But I would start out deep.
Makes sense. That makes sense for sure. The square bill, Tim Hancock. I knew that you would say something like this because he's mentioned it before. His favorite square bill is the Academy's little 449. Caught a boatload of fish on it and a few 8-pounders too.
I've caught a bunch on Academies. Baits.
Academies they look pretty good.
They marked them down when I first got back into fishing. I bought a buggy full of their square bills and crankbaits and stuff, and they caught a ton of fish.
Yeah. I can believe it.
They're good baits.
I can believe it for sure. Calico bass is what we call them. What was we talking about?
Probably the
crappie. Calico bass. I ain't heard nobody call it calico bass. That's new. There you go. Cranking and Yankin says his favorite is the Rapala DT Series 6 and 8 are some of the best cranks out there. And they are. I
do like a 6, especially up there.
My favorite crankbait, and of course it ain't. I guess I throw Spro, Little Johns, and Rock Crawlers. I don't mess with the other brand. I'll throw Rapala every once in a while.
That DT6 works well up there because of the grass. You crank it down there and it'll go ahead and float back out of it. That's how I actually learned to scope with grass. Just throwing a DT6.
Oh, listen, don't say scope around cranking it.
Oh, he'll be all right.
All right, Joshua, pull it up there. In my opinion, grass fishing is just looking for irregularities. Sometimes where grass, rockwood, and or a hard bottom is. Sometimes it doesn't matter.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean, I could say, and honestly, with this conversation and you guys that are asking questions, I'm learning it too because I've only done it one time. And I ended up throwing a chicken rig. I threw a chicken rig some. I threw a weightless Cinco that one time when you was out throwing the A-rig over the road beds. I threw flukes. That was about it. I don't remember throwing anything else. But we only had one day to fish, and then day 2 we punched for the line.
Right.
So I did catch a fish on a chicken rig, though. And I caught one on that weightless Cinco, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that's the biggest one I caught. I was just dragging it behind the boat while you were really slow. Adam, for Guntersville specifically, are there specific species of grass that are more productive than others? Good question.
it is a good question. I think it depends on what you want to do. If you want to frog and punch and all that kind of stuff, yeah, you need to get the hydrilla and the milfoil and all that stuff. If you're throwing something else, like I fished grass this weekend. I did not punch. I did not flip, but I caught them mostly out of eelgrass or milfoil.
Okay.
So
Doing what?
I was throwing a
Come
first place was a Daracoup. Actually, I actually called Ken and said, you need to get over here because the first 45 minutes I didn't even have to edit on a video. It was every throw.
So listen, y'all. Listen, Ken Pruitt's in the back there with Tony, and he's doing these coughing noises because he wants to be a gatekeeper. And he doesn't want.
He's a juice barometer.
He's
Juice
a what?
barometer.
He's a juice barometer.
Juice barometer. Right now, the barometer is back there.
See, I don't know if he's in like actual distress or what. He's
We wouldn't
coughing.
know. We wouldn't know.
Well, that video drops this weekend, and I didn't cut out the background, so you can figure out where it is.
All right,
But the second spot I caught him on a whopper plopper,
I know he said I was going to hate that answer.
and they are smoking it. I'm telling you, you think a Lanier spot's bad? Let him hit that whopper
What
plopper.
color?
The original green with the clear bottom. I've caught some on the black, but I literally have been throwing the absolute 100% out of the box original, and they have been killing it. I caught a 560 or 580 on it. All on video.
I won't.
I got it for you.
I won't think any less of you, but I don't like you right now.
Well,
Just it'll be temporary. No, listen, I'm not gonna lie. Look, I know that thing catches them.
it does.
I know
it's very situational. I've only caught a handful of fish on these herring lakes on that, and I caught it doing something crazy. Throw it out there and snap it and reel and snap it and reel and just doing this. It wasn't bloop, 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 bloop.
You that out at Guntersville or out here?
Out at Lanier.
So that's how I have caught them on that, and that's how.
But you're ripping it.
You had to rip it and get that and then reel.
Yeah.
So I get that. It does catch.
But the other thing it does up there that beats a walking bait, like, I've caught them up there on a sexy dog and all these other walking baits. When the grass gets bad, it'll come through that floating eelgrass better than a walking bait does. A walking bait's just going to foul.
Yeah.
And you can snap it and it'll clear and it'll go back to plopping.
I got you. So November 1st, November is West Point. Then I got Clarksville, Lake Hartwell, the 23rd. I see that. Those are some good lakes, dude. I think you'll be fine on all of them. And that guy, our buddy that came by and honked the horn, well, there's the cop chasing him on the way back here, something like that. What would you say to a novice on how to punch mats? Easier to use a spinning rod or not?
No, you're not going to.
You got to use a bait.
Unless you
gotta
use some kind of big saltwater redfish rod. I don't know that you're going to get them out there. You need a bait caster. Like I said, just get enough weight to get it through there. And like I said, just start diving around till you get a bite. Most of the time, it's either heavy when you pick it up or you feeling just thump it when it goes through the mat.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, just lean back. Don't slack lining. And just kind of lean back and reel. And you'll hook them.
Yeah. So when he says a novice, is there anything else other than, I know you said use a bait caster.
Learn the snell knot. That'll help you.
I knew there was something that you did. We talked about it on the show. I don't know if it made the cut, but I remember us talking about how you tied it.
Yeah, I tie a snell knot. And like I said, if you slack line them more on that, it actually makes it work not right. But learn the snell knot. Wesley Strader's got a good video on it. That's how I learned it. But what happens is when you put pressure, it kicks that hook forward. So most of the time you get them right to the top of the head.
That's exactly what you said. I didn't remember. I knew there was something.
Yeah.
Now I remember you saying that. Then they got Lake Lanier, Lake Eufaula, Lake Seminole. That's a hell of a tournament, Aiden. That's a hell of a trail right there. West Point, Clarksville, Hartwell, Lanier, Eufaula, Seminole. I think that'd be a pretty cool trail to run right there. Used to hear about throwing a mouse on the mats years ago. Mm-hmm. You ever get one of them crazy ass bullfrogs that you see every once in a while that was following your frog or something?
I've caught them.
That's what I'm going to ask. You catch some big bullfrogs?
We did in Louisiana.
On mats?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is
frog
that
eat a frog?
Have you not? I mean, is that not crazy the way those guys that catch that video, right? That big ass bullfrogs right behind him, who come up and he's timing it.
Oh yeah.
And then just bust it.
Yeah, we've done it down there a bunch.
What's up, Adam W. Fishing? Crankin' and Yankin says Power Pro 30 typically is what he uses. Okay, makes sense. Let's see, Jeremy Conkright. And we'll get to your comments. We're working it slow tonight. Can't remember the last time I changed my braid. I'll even strip it off and turn it around and reel it back on the reel. I know guys that do that
I do it on my spinning reels.
on the spinning reels.
But my braid, even on my spinning reel, is not expensive. And I get a big bunch of it. So I do that mid-season, and then I can still get the high vis.
What do you use?
Braid?
Braid, did I ask you
XPS
that?
braid.
That's right, for the Bass Pro stuff.
Yeah. Well, now I'm using cast on a couple of them, but
Right. Okay.
I don't know how abrasive it is yet compared to the XPS. That's what I've got to get familiar with. Haven't used it enough.
Yeah.
But no, I don't rewind mine
Yeah.
back on another
Yeah.
reel.
Lonnie Hill on TikTok says a high gear reel.
I don't go higher than 7.
7.1.
I really like a 6, to be honest with you, because I got more torque.
Yeah.
You get a 7 or 8, and that guys use them. Don't like I said, don't quote me on this, but like I said, when I get an 8 and I get one hung up, you can reel all you want to, and it's just slipping. I want something that's got some winching power to get him out.
Gotcha. Okay. There you go. What about that one we're giving away tonight? 5.4. Is that too slow?
That's too slow.
So you need the 6.
I like a
Little more
6
speed.
6 is my all around. 7 is like my high end. I think I may have 1/8 to throw a fluke on one there, but other than that, it's
Gotcha.
6s or 7s.
I got you. Anybody throw J braid?
I have not.
I have thrown it before. I do not currently throw it. No, Tony, you?
No.
Anybody?
No.
So Lonnie says that makes sense when he was asking about the high gear reel. Jeff Brazil. You know, I love you guys that show up for lunch and you show up at night. You guys are the best right there. Booyah used to make a square bill called a Flex 2 foam injected bait that closely resembles balsa. Great little baits. Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah, I don't either. Flex 2.
No.
A Flex 2. Okay. Now, Hancock says he flips his braid one time a year and put all that braid that's never seen the light of day on top, which you can do with braid. Makes sense.
Right.
It makes sense 100%. Don't forget that shad wrap, White Owl 74 said. You know, I ain't never thrown a shad wrap very much.
Oh, yeah. You got to have a light rod to do it with and probably 6 to 8 pound test line, and they'll catch fish.
Oh, they'll catch fish, yeah. Probably because back when back when I was using one or trying to use one, I didn't have it on the right equipment.
If you don't
I
have the
couldn't get
right
it out there.
rod, you can't throw
That's
that
what I'm
thing.
saying. And it just probably just deterred me from throwing it the rest of the time. Like, I can't catch this thing 15 foot.
I've got one bait caster I can throw it on. Bait cast rod. Everything else it goes on spinner rod.
Which rod is that, Dave?
It's a Falcon.
Well, I know it's a Falcon because mine's a Falcon. I just want to know which
It's the
one.
weightless worm.
I got you.
The
I get
weightless
that
worm.
They got that one from I use it for my jerkbait rod. It's the one you get at Walmart, and it's got enough parabolic bend to it that I can actually throw the shad wrap on it and actually cast.
That weightless worm is my jerk bait rod.
Yep, same deal.
Well, you got that Bush beer out back there.
Huh?
Why you got that Bush beer?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, that one.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. 'Cause I knew it was left over.
It's my spit cup.
Is that what it is? Okay, here we go with the plopper. But go up real quick. Aaron said that, but go up right there, cranking and yanking. I'm going to ask this too, because we didn't experience that too much. Now, when we went, they had sprayed a couple of the mats. The TVA did, so we experienced that. He says around here, if you're pulling up black grass, you probably need to move around a little bit until you find some green stuff.
Yes, for sure. Like I said, I fished. That's where I fish from.
So black grass, though, that's rotten. Is that what it is?
It's on the bottom. You want, like Reese said, you want that green, good green stuff. And like I said, the greener it is, it's kind of like he said, it's hard. It's kind of like sticking a treble hook into a piece of wood. It just kind of slides off. I mean, I'm throwing a derrick hoop in grass.
Yeah,
It's got a treble hook. I'm worming it through there.
makes sense. What's your favorite boat brand and graphs? Throw that out real quick.
Lawrence.
And then Ranger. What do you got? What's your boat?
It's a Ranger.
Yeah, that's your favorite.
Yes, it's my favorite.
There you go. Real quick, graphs and boat.
Lawrence, for sure. God.
Go ahead and say it, Ranger.
What's that on his app?
He's been
I got a
talking
Ranger.
about
I do
another
have a
one.
Ranger. I'm gonna tell you what, I like that icon a lot. I like the front deck on that icon a lot. It's huge.
You gonna buy you one?
I don't got,
Yes.
I don't know. I gotta ask Mama.
Gotta ask Mama. We know the boss is for sure. Tony.
Lawrence, and I also drive a Ranger. So I like my
It is.
Ranger.
Y'all consistent.
I got an old 91 Ranger. It's a beast.
It is. You can't beat them old ones right there. Lonnie says he throws a 3500 Ambassador 10-pound P line, throws it all the time. and he's on the blazer. So is he throwing that when he says 10 pounds? We're talking about the shad wrap, or is he talking about?
Probably.
Probably.
Got to be
Yeah.
the shad wrap, I thought.
Dang,
What do you mean, dang?
that'd still be hard to throw.
Little ambassador.
3,500 ambassador.
Listen, I remember sneaking my my grandfather. What's that old red one that they catfish with?
Props to him.
5,600? Is that the
5,500.
5,500? That's the first bait caster I ever tried to cast.
Oh yeah, everybody had those.
And it was my grandfather's, and I would steal it when he was at work. Aiden has a skeeter.
6,500 too.
Okay. Yeah, well, they're not very cast friendly to
They're
a
great for shiner fishing.
13-year-old. That's what I tried to learn on. That's why Danny don't like grass. He can't wave his fairy wand. I got a fairy wand for you there, Jeremy. No, seriously. No, I mean,
Have we seen it before?
I don't think anybody has seen it. Hell, I can't see it. Is that okay? Ken, is that good? Can I get away with saying that, producer back there? He told me I was supposed to be on my
He didn't
best
cough.
behavior.
He didn't cough when you said it.
He coughed
He
afterwards.
coughed afterwards. So.
Yeah. Pull up Joshua's right there.
There we go.
Do you use double bobber stops? Do you like streamline a crawl bait such as a new Punch, Strike King, Menace, or do you like a lot of action?
I will double bobber stop it because I actually pin mine to the bait, so it's one unit. It depends. It also depends on how big a weight I go. The higher the weight, usually the more bobber stoppers. I have put 3 or 4 on there just to make sure everything stays together. So the more weight, the more bobber stoppers.
Yeah, okay, makes sense. Now pull up Derek Spicer. I have a lot of cast braid breaking right now. Could it be the eelgrass tearing it? And then I see on down, you don't have to go down there, but somebody, Steven, could be a rough rod eye that is chewing your line.
Yeah.
I have not had a problem with any cast braid breaking.
No.
And I told you were here when I told that guy he was talking earlier tonight.
Yep.
He was talking about he was breaking off every 3rd or 4th hook set. We're like, take the Q-tip, check out
Yep.
some guys, and just
For
see
sure.
if you got something rough right there. Greg, just want to thank Dave for showing how to rig the chicken rig. One of my go-to rigs now. It works on Hartwell and Kiwi.
It does.
That listen, I thought it was gimmicky as all get go when he first was talking about it and all that. But I'll throw a weightless wacky and then I skip a Nico and just go straight to a chicken rig.
Yeah.
Like I do one or the other two. I don't throw the Nico with the, I like it because it's weedless. And I throw it in rocks too as well.
Well, the first time I threw it here in Georgia was actually on Russell. Like I said, it was just a situational thing where I had current. I'm trying to get a bait up under there, and it was a bunch of brush and stuff up under this dock, and it fit the bill, and they just went to biting it. So I kind of brought it back.
I throw it everywhere.
It's good. I mean, you saw it at Guntersville. I mean,
I did.
It comes through that without any issue.
That's the big thing. If you want to worm fish, that's what he said. We're going to throw the chicken rig. I had it, and you were throwing other baits, but I was flipping that or casting it. We were in the back of pockets and thick grass and all that. And I caught some out of it.
Yeah.
But that's the one thing. Like, it does not take
Now,
on a lot of grass.
The only thing I wish VMC would do is make a 3/0.
A little bit
A
smaller.
little bit bigger.
What
Or
were
a
we
bigger,
using?
a 2. I started with a 1. I use a 2.
Yes.
I'd love to have a 3 and throw the Magnum trick worm on it.
That would make sense. Tim Hancock, I foul hooked a 35-pound grass carp in the back with a spinning rod, 10-pound line, and a shad wrap. Good Lord. The biggest carp I ever caught, I actually snagged by accident in a pay catfish lake. It's 22 pounds. But I snagged. I mean, you snag or get one of them. Grass carps are pretty strong.
Oh yeah.
They absolutely can, carry you around. Now, Aaron wants to know, does braid expire? I got 1,000 yards on a Penn Senator 9.0 from 10 years ago. I don't know that it does. Does it expire?
Tie it to a tree and try to slackline it, see if it breaks.
Good point. You can figure it out. Let's see. Tyler O'Neill. What are you shaking your head at?
10 years on the same reel.
Well,
Hey,
you probably
Wi-
just had it
Wi-
in storage.
Wiggins says he keeps his on there a couple 3. He fishes all day, every day.
I'm telling you, mine stays on there till I dang either cut off too much or whatever. I don't change mine out that often.
I got
I
you.
just changed.
We ain't got your money. We can't afford all that. I'm just playing with you. I'm just playing with you. Don't get stirred up over there,
no,
old man.
I'm fine.
Just simmer down.
I spend my money on other things.
I know you do. I know you do. I just picked up the Cast King Deadbolt, tested it out on the Spro tournament, and it was awesome. I'm going to pick up another one or two for flipping and a spare frog reel, no drag to slip. Now, I'm not familiar with that. I mean, I've never thrown it, but that seems like a good, report on it.
Yeah, I've heard good things. I know Wheeler's been playing around with some different reels because I don't think he's got a reel sponsor, and he was bragging on one of his posts about the Cast King. He actually liked it.
Really? Okay, there you go. Get him some blue ribbons. I don't know I forget who we were talking about, White Owl.
Probably
yeah.
the beer.
Oh, no, I know he's talking about beer.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember who was
Probably-
getting it.
Yeah, probably me.
Oh,
holding
you.
up the
Yeah, we
bush,
talked
yeah.
about that today. Listen, you can't beat an ice cold Pabst Blue Ribbon from the tap. From the tap right there. Where are we at next? A BFS is the only way to throw a shad wrap. I get that. I see that. Aaron Young. Now listen, he's not the only person that has said this, at least in person or whatever. I have never gotten along with Braid. I can't get used to a knot coming through the eyes.
Learn the FG.
Oh, boozy ass FG knot.
Learn the FG. I'm telling you, it's the way to go. You probably still got that leader I tied on for you.
No, I finally broke it off, but it did last a while.
I know.
Because he had to tie my FG knot, boys, because I can't. He said, no, I'm going to tie you an FG right here. And he sat down and he tied it. But, yeah. Oh, TikTok. How do y'all work the Cast OG? I'm used to the walk the top. Gosh, dog it. I'm used to the walk the dog top water. I will say they're ripping it. They're just burning it.
Watch the episode with
Franco. Yeah, if you go back.
couple weeks ago.
Yeah, if you go to FNGO, and it was about 2 weeks ago, we had Franco on. It was a Tuesday night, and he talks about that, how he works it. And there is some video if you go to Cast or Franco's page on Facebook. What's the biggest bag any of you guys have ever had in a tournament?
17 pounds.
23 or 24.
Mine's not worth the saying.
Listen,
I'm not a tournament guy.
I'm going to say 22 pounds was because I fished with Underwood. By myself, or with average people in the boat with me, I think about 17. But it's really easy when you got Underwood right there. Just, all I had to do is play net, man. It was amazing. Let's see.
And I had a 9.5 when I had that 17 pounds.
Oh, did you?
Right.
Well, hey, listen. Fishing Douglas Lake in Tennessee this weekend should be good. Adam said, absolutely. And I think Lonnie said he had 19. Ought to be a good topwater bite for sure over there. 80% of my fishing is done with old ambassadors, 550 C, 550, 5500 Cs. Yep. Tim, because you're old. I like playing. But no, he don't listen. He likes, if he gets something in his hand, he likes it. That's what he's going to throw. And if it works, for sure, 100%. I used to steal my grandfather's car to grab snacks at the gas station. Like, my grandfather had a hell of a tackle box, and about the time I turned 13 and we moved over there to that lake, and it just slowly dwindled over the years. And I knew he knew I was taking it, but he never once said a word to me. So I've never had a problem with cast braid. Derek says, broke off on my BFS spinning rod and bait caster today. That's how I lost the spy bait. I got you. I've never had a problem with it. Gone fishing with Ed. Chicken rig. You toss on a spinner. I do.
Yes.
Yes.
But put it on a medium heavy because you will lose a bunch of fish on a medium.
That is true. That very is.
Yeah,
that very
you need
much
a
is
medium
true.
heavy rod.
What's your guys' October baits, Adam? Top waters. Just anything at top water right now you can throw.
A rig.
Yeah, that's over at Guntersville.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that because he throws an A-rig a little bit different than some of you guys, or some, in ways you wouldn't think. Tony, real quick, your October bait. Give me one.
Jerk bait.
How did I know you
Wow.
were going to say jerk
Hey.
bait?
That's original.
Hey,
He likes it.
it works.
does it.
It works.
He likes it. What about you?
I'm going to throw a spinner bait.
Spinner bait, jerk bait. I'm saying a top water. Or I throw a wacky year round.
Something shad.
Something shad.
A rig.
A-rig. Let's get a couple more and then we'll talk about the way you throw the A-rig.
Okay.
Let's see. I had one right. Let's crank it and yank it. Pull him up. And Adam says a pop bar for right now. Sure. Buzzbait, Lonnie Hill. Twitching a fluke, Stickman 86. Listen, here's the thing about October is that every single one of them are right.
Mm-hmm.
You really could throw whatever your confidence is right now and catch fish on any given lake. You probably could take every one of those over to Guntersville and catch fish on it.
You could.
Even the old pop bar.
We caught them on a fluke. Was it 3 weeks ago?
He's
Yeah,
over.
3 weeks ago.
God, Ken is an old grumpy ass back
I
there
talked to the
tonight.
guy this morning when I put in, and he was coming out, and he said he had a good day on a fluke, and I think he said 16 on
Yeah.
a fluke.
And just like you
On
said,
tuna.
a spinnerbait. You can throw a spinnerbait right now. I had one rod that was fuzzing my fluoro. I thought it was my line, but it turned out to be one of my eyes on the rod. Aggravating until you figure it out.
Yeah.
Sure. And again, that's the Q-tip trick. Take a Q-tip, go inside every one of your guides, and if that thing catches or frays, you will know that's where it's at. Adam. You know what? I said Adam, and I looked up, and I got an Adam over here on TikTok, and I got an Adam right here on this, and I just, I froze. Rods you typically use braid on can wear the guides out over time and cause breakage in the new line. Ask Josh how big of a canyon the braid worn through one of his guides. I will say this. That's how I figured it out.
Man, we talked to that guy today and told him that too. Check
Yeah.
this.
I mean, I had one that seriously, like, it was almost like a gun, like an old iron sight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? When you look, iron sight's got that groove, and you can
Yeah.
look right through. And I was like, I didn't know any better back then. And I was like, good Lord, it ate it up.
Yeah.
Now, I probably had like 80-pound braid on something that was meant for 10 pounds or something. But I mean, it didn't take long for that.
No, it'll
tear
do it.
up.
We used to do it at Venice a lot because we threw braid down there because of the roseau canes. And after a year or so, you had to check your guides.
Oh, I got you. Stickman 86. I just slammed that 5-pound smallmouth in my picture a week ago on a white fluke. Flukes, whether you fish it up high or down, on a jig head, down low. I mean, a fluke is in play all year. Even ditch fishing on Lanier, a lot of guys will take that underspin or, that ditch digger we got or a ball head jig, and they'll put a full-size fluke on it, and they'll just drag it slow. So, I mean, you really honestly can fish a fluke year-round. Let's see. Andy Miller. About the cast braid, I'm not knocking it, but I had a similar experience after using my spinning rod to throw a shad wrap. I assumed excessive line twist. Brand new rod, so that's ruled out. I just honestly, I've had the same cast braid on my rod for 2 years, and I've never had a problem.
That's good. It's just got a bad spool. I've done it
it
with
can
other
happen.
lines.
Yeah, it can happen.
Like I won't buy line. I won't buy fluorocarbon from Amazon. I refuse. I broke off so many fish from Amazon. And it's the same fluorocarbon. I just don't think they move enough of it.
I was gonna say that the thing I've had people tell me, because I buy my fluoro, I buy Seagar, and I've had good luck with their Amazon, but the problem is you don't know how often they move it. So if it's sitting in a warehouse in that heat and stuff, it could be deteriorating pretty quick.
Well, Trilene used to put their dates on it, and I'm still pretty sure they do on the line, but I don't know any other line company that does.
I don't know. I just started buying because I buy the bulk spools of 1,200 yards. I just buy it from Tackle Warehouse.
I got you. Stickman 86. In the winter, I put flukes on a spot remover and drag them super slow. Absolutely. You can. And there were a couple of things up there on TikTok because the phone is not working. I can't scroll back down. So put your comments back on again or your questions. Steven Sturgeon.
All right.
Right there. Is it worthwhile to throw a toad on top of the matted eelgrass, or should I stick with the edges of the mats with a toad?
Edges, middle, anywhere you can get it in there, they'll come through it. Especially if you got a little thin spots in there, it works really well.
Adam, Lake Lanier is not haunted. It is just full of people that shouldn't probably be on it. I mean, being honestly truthful. And people that think they can still swim out to the islands. Maybe they could when they were 18, but when they're my age, you can't do it. But it's not haunted. I promise you it's not. Line don't matter, Patricia Leanne Shaw. Hey, listen, a lot of people feel that way. Going fishing with Ed. Daiwa has a dedicated pitching and flipping reel. It's one of my favorites. Do you have one reel that's just dedicated to what you want to do? Which one is it? If you're flipping and pitching, what do you use again?
I use everything I have is Shimano Curadas, except for I got one or two of those BB1s to throw a big crankbait on.
Gotcha. All right, Tony, I see that Ken handed you a piece of paper.
He did.
I wish you'd put the camera on his fat ass. And, no.
He can slide over here.
He can slide. What is it?
Okay. This
Read
is from Ken Pruitt.
This is from Ken Pruitt, not Danny Pruitt.
Even Danny can catch fish this time of year because big girls like small worms.
Hey, seriously, you just got to wiggle it.
It's not how deep you fish. It's
That's
how you wiggle your
right.
worm.
Absolutely. I've been wiggling a small worm my whole life. Kent Goings.
All right, hang on. I'm going to get caught up here.
What?
I just got to get caught up here.
Yes. Ken just messes up the whole thing, don't he? I do see that Stickman, though. He uses a small piece of yarn to floss around his guides. That would work, too, for sure. I bought some 12-pound cast braid and could break with ease pulling with my two hands. Couldn't even tie a knot without it breaking. Had to be old, no other explanation. Because I would tell you this, like, honestly, I wouldn't be able to do that. I've never had a problem with it, for sure.
I'll say 12-pound cut my hand before I was able to break it in half. Like
Had
that.
to have some. It had to be. But I will tell you this: if you did that, and it was that easy, you guys have had problems. If you hit Ryan Hanks up, he'll make it right.
I'd call him.
Call Ryan. He will make it right, 100%. No questions asked, for sure. Eric, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce that last name. We'll just go Eric L. What'd you say?
Lori?
Okay.
Or LaRue.
LaRue?
I don't know. It could be Evans for all I know. If I try
Just
to,
Eric.
yeah. Eric, it took me almost a month to teach myself the FG knot. Best thing I ever did.
Can you tie it in the dark?
Can you tie it in the dark, and can you tie it in 40-mile-an-hour winds? Just in case. Have y'all ever used Trilene Big Game Braid? No. I have not.
I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't even seen it.
If I'm being honest, I haven't either. I've seen Big Game, but not the Braid. I'm sure it's out there. I just have never bought it. Bottom Line Outdoors, Stillhouse, Hollow Lake, Texas, caught 9 today, 2 over 6 on a 5-inch mag draft. Yep. I can believe it.
Yep.
I can believe it. Stickman says that Trilene Big Game Braid is awesome for the price. Well, hell, I bet it is. If it's anything like the regular Big Game, you can get 600 yards for $9.99 or $10. Ask Will Harkins. I actually asked him if he wanted to come back on. He's going to come back on after they're done with their NPFL championship. Paul B. Salt Strong has a good FG knot video. It's really not that hard. All you guys say it's not that hard.
It's really not that hard.
It's not.
Well, for old men, it is.
I can't see either. I can't either. I had to put my little reader things on. My wife got me. But I see that, and I can lay it out, and literally I can tie it in a minute.
So over the weekend, if I have a chance, I'm going to try to teach myself.
Well, when you come up there next weekend, we're going to learn the FG knot.
I thought we were just going to drink bourbon and smoke cigars.
Nope, we're going to learn the FG knot and drink bourbon and smoke cigars.
Okay, we can do that. All right, yeah. Because I am going to go to the Ultimate Angler now and hang out with these guys. So if you're going to be up there Friday, Saturday and Friday. Like I'm totally backwards tonight. Friday and Saturday, we'll be up there.
I told you we get tongue-tied tonight, didn't I?
Because I didn't eat all day. Yeah, so like my caloric intake is throwing me off. I didn't do a 5-hour energy before the show. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Cranking and yanking an A-rig and a live scope. Yeah, yes, sir,
he's
buddy.
Over twitching now.
He is.
He's twitching.
He's funny.
Come on, man.
His right eye has got that twitch to it. You know, in his hand.
Yeah.
I have in Georgia. We Louisiana guys got to stick together.
Yeah.
Ain't many of us over here.
Well, after we do the question of the night and all that, we'll talk about how he uses that because it's crazy. Does anyone fish a stick bait, a soft stick bait with a spinner on the back? I do not.
I know when club tournament a couple of years ago at Guntersville, that's what they were catching them on. Stick bait with a spinner on the back near the causeway.
Do you?
I have them. I fished it a few times. I've caught a few fish on it, but
back of a Cinco, absolutely.
Just putting a little tailspin on the back of a Cinco.
Pitching it and flipping it.
I know a lot of people do that on like a Ned rig.
Especially if the sun's out.
Yeah. That or throw it out there on a quarter ounce for weight and just reel it.
Jeremy says watching somebody on an A-rig with a live scope is one of the funniest things to watch. Yeah, listen. Yeah, it's different, but when he's tripling up on bass, trust me, I watched it. It's on the show. He was doubling and tripling up on them things. Going to check all my guides before tomorrow. I switched to fluorocarbon for Guntersville. Yeah, I'll check it for sure. Underspin with a fluke, Lonnie says. Hey, listen, a lot of people catch them with that. Besides my frog and punching steps. Okay, that's what he's going to do. Besides his frog rod and punching setups. Creole catfishing. Met him today at lunch. Guess he's back. Appreciate you joining us. There's Drew Patterson out there. What's going on, bud? Them Fuji guides make me feel bougie.
Yeah.
Listen, they're good. I get it. I have Suffix 832, 40-pound on 4 of my bait casters that still work awesome.
Yep.
Brendan Glover says the drop shot has been working real well on Allatoona, guys, if you're going to be on Allatoona. I buy Sunline Assassin from Amazon and have not had a problem with it. It probably moves a lot faster with Sunline.
Maybe. The only Sunline I use is my spinning rod Braid. I use SX1.
Gotcha. My buddy gone fishing with Ed Vicious had some cost-effective braid I used on the river, 10-pound and 8-pound. I wonder, too, like with cheaper braid, when you get to the smaller sizes like 8 and 10 and all that, how well it casts. And to be honest, though, like I compare everything against cast now, but like before it was Power Pro.
Yeah.
So that's what I judged everything by. But I've never really thrown any. I don't want to say. Let me take that back. There was a company that asked me to try some of their Braid, and it wasn't very good. But it was like a trial thing. So I will not say the name of that company. Oh, he said it's pronounced LaRue. Okay,
Yeah.
we got you right there. WB Harrington. I bought some string from Kmart, and I saw it break in multiple spots on the hook set. It was probably aged, but I never bought any again. Spot choker caught over 40 on Guntersville today. There you go. I wonder what you was throwing. I wonder what you was throwing. 10-pound braid with an 8-pound leader will cast a mile with an FG knot. Hey, listen, 12-pound cast with an 8-pound leader and a daggum weightless wacky will throw a mile with an Alberto knot. I'm just saying, boys, it will.
It will.
It will.
It will.
Sure it will.
Finally made a live. Enjoy listening to y'all guys on my way home from work in the mornings. We appreciate you joining us now. We're getting ready to give away some stuff. In fact, let's do it right now. And then we will come back. So, hey, listen. So we're going to do a drawing and we're going to have a question. So 2 things we're going to give away tonight. If you have a question that we haven't gotten to, Tony's going to scroll all the way down because I know there was a boatload of them.
They're down at the bottom.
Yeah, there's a boatload of them. So we're going to have to start those questions over. So should we do the drawing first or you want to do that? Let's do the drawing first. Okay.
Drawing first, yeah.
All right. Again, if you are a member of
That's an easier one.
FNGO, yeah, it's not going to take them that long. Of FNGO, either at the $4.99 or $9.99 mark, and you support us, cup of coffee, Happy Meal, whatever. Every month we're going to give something away. So this is our very first one. Whoever I draw out of the box, you're going to get a brand new JC Elite reel from Baitcaster, from Spro, and it's the 5.4. I believe it's 5.4 this month. And then for the next 3 months, I'm going to have go up each size to eventually get to the 8.1. So you got to be a member to play on this. If you're $4.99, you get 1 ticket. If you're $9.99, you get 2 tickets every month. And so that's how we're going to do it. Let me shake it up. I got everybody here in the box.
Both tickets are in there?
Huh?
Both tickets?
Yeah, if you were $9.99, you got 2 tickets.
So there's
in
2
there.
tickets in there, huh?
No, hell no. There's a bunch of tickets in there. But yeah, no. They both say Danny Pruitt. So Dave, I'm going to let you pick so that way I show no bias and I'm not looking. So reach in there and let's see who's going to get the JC Elite reel.
I stuck my tickets in there.
Did you really?
A bunch of them.
All right. Call it out.
Yard.
Yard. That is the screen name of whoever it is. So Yard.
That's
Yard.
me.
Bullshit. So Yard, you get, I guess I'll figure out a way. One thing too, I know most of them. Yard is actually one of the ones that I don't know if I have contact for. So I'll have to figure it out. But Yard, if you're watching this at a later date, get in touch with me so I can mail you a new JC Elite 5.4 reel. So appreciate you guys. And listen, we're going to do one right 1st of November. So support us, get a chance. And all the stuff we're going to give away is always going to be about 150 and maybe a little higher retail value. So it's going to be a good prize.
Absolutely.
Now for Kevin's, stuff, we don't give away good stuff. So anyway,
It's stuff we can't sell here.
it's stuff we can't. No, I'm just kidding. So couple things. Since we talked about a spy bait the other night with Deshaun, we're going to give away a spy bait, Berkeley Spy 70. And then for topwater, because we talked about it with the hooks and all that, you can change the hooks out if you want. You're going to get a super spook in the blue and chrome. So how many answers?
2 answers.
All right, guys, remember, 2.
Both
2.
in the same.
Captain J. Morgan, appreciate you, buddy, joining it. Huh?
Both in the same block, not
In the
two-
same
do it
block,
in the same
please, guys.
block.
We do this once a week. All right, let's go.
All right. I kept this question easy. I went back into the archives, so you've heard it before. In the 55 years of Bassmaster Classics, how many official practice days have there been? And what 2 years have had the most official practice days? I'll read it one more time. In the 55 years of the Bassmasters Classic, how many official practice days have there been? What 2 years have had the most official practice days?
Did somebody not answer that correctly the last time?
It took them a while.
All right, guys. So hey, there you go. You can either A, do the math, or you can go back and figure it out. So Tony, you got them? You're watching that?
Yep, I got it.
I got it too, Tony, out here.
Okay. So while they're watching and you guys try, Dave and I are going to talk about the A-rig on Guntersville. When we went, he said he was going to be throwing an A-rig. We pulled up into this cove, I want to say, 7 foot deep, 5 foot grass, and you start chunking an A-rig and you're scoping. Tell everybody what you were throwing and how you did that.
So yeah, we were that week we were there. We kind of got messed up. We had one of the hurricanes come through, and there was a ton of wind, so we kind of had to try to get out of some of that. They had 3 or 4 footers on the lake, but basically what we did, we pulled in a cut that had it was about 8 or 10 foot deep at the deepest, and it had a bunch of grass in it, but it had a lot of bait pushed up in there. So what I did is I picked up an A-rig, put 2.8 Kitex on 16-ounce heads, and basically you're just kind of crawling across the top of the grass. You're keeping it real high. A lot of the bites you can actually see because it's not that deep, but just reel it. Every once in a while, just snap, make the blades kind of flutter, make the baits just kind of do something different, and then keep it coming. But the 16th-ounce heads are real important, obviously, to try to keep it up out of the grass so you don't have to reel it quite so fast.
Yeah, so you're running an A-rig in the upper 7th, 8th of a water column. Like you're not even down a third. You're up
it's
there.
down. It's 2 or 3 foot down at the most.
At the most.
Yeah.
At the most. And one thing that was pretty interesting was I bet Ken Duke would know the answer. One of the interesting things, and I'll fix that here in a second, is that you were doubling and tripling up.
Right.
So while I go here and fix the TikTok camera, just kind of tell everybody about how you were scoping it and all that too. Just
right.
Enough to make cranking and yanking, jiggle a little bit.
Twitch. Okay. Well, the biggest thing with scope on that is a lot of times you're not looking at the fish. I'm looking more at structure, at grass, at turns. Sometimes you can see them if they're sitting up there high, but a lot of times those fish are actually down in the grass, and they'll come up and you'll see them actually come out of the grass and eat it. But more times than not, I'm just looking for where the grass is, if there's a clump, if there's a tall spot, a bare spot, whatever it is. I'm not really looking on scope in that perspective to actually look for fish. Now, when you get out on the bars and the flats without the grass, then yeah, you'll see them out there floating and you can catch them that way. But for grass fishing, like I said, I'm looking more for structure. Like I said, unless there's a little wad of them, which usually you don't see, we're looking for structure.
Well, Alex is too damn late. I didn't turn on the background light.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it.
Listen, you know what? I'm sitting there going like, we do look a little dark tonight. My bad.
Thanks for pointing that out, Alex. Our shortcomings.
You messed up his train of thought.
My train of thought, I can't get the damn TikTok to work right. Did anybody get the answer?
No.
Nope.
All right, I'm going to try this one more time on this daggum thing. Hey, listen, if you're watching on TikTok, you might.
I think Steven Sturgeon was the closest.
You might get kicked off here in a little bit. And if that's the case, if you'll go to YouTube, type in FNGO, and you can watch all the camera angles. I'll try to save you guys, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I'm probably going to have to reload this whole entire app to do it. But hopefully, maybe to figure it out. But if not, go to YouTube, type in FNGO, and join us over here.
So Aaron Young, I saw a question up there about that A-rig. I use the owner lockdown. It's an exposed hook. That's the one I like the best. That's pretty much the head I throw on pretty much everything. So yes, it is an exposed hook. Yes, you do have a lot of grass caught on it, but that's just kind of part of the game. And then put a little thump gel on there.
You really believe in that thump gel?
I tell you what I did.
What'd you do?
Just last year. I was catching them on an A-rig, and I normally put the thump gel on the middle one that's a little bit different color. And I noticed I was catching about every fish on that one. So I started rotating thump gel around different ones, and the ones that had the thump gel on it were the ones I was catching the fish on. And then I went out with a guide out there. One of my buddies has got a guide service out there. We could see them. We could not catch them. I threw thump gel on a worm, and we caught like 5 or 6 back to back.
Gotcha. What's up, Hannah, over there on TikTok? Hey, listen, because the app's getting ready to mess up, it's getting ready to kick us off of TikTok. Go to YouTube, type in FNGO, join us over here. Because I'm not going to be able to restart it here in about a minute, 48 seconds. So you guys are going to be kicked off. So sorry about that. We'll get it figured out for the next one. Yeah, I did type it right. Aaron tonight. The other night I had Agler.
Hackler.
But yeah, it was
Just a
messed up.
test, guys. Just a test.
Still using Shane's baits, A-Rig?
Shane's baits are the
Moneyball, stuff like that.
Flash Mob Junior, either one. But Shane's baits is way more durable
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay.
We were throwing money balls when you were over there.
So
Is it the same size as the Flash Mob?
It's pretty close. Pretty close.
nobody's answered your question yet.
Oh, no.
Man, that was close.
That was close.
You're getting closer, guys. So keep on trying. While they're doing it, let's see, cranking and yanking. I don't A-rig. Is there any difference between an A-rig or the umbrella rig, or am I confused? Same thing.
It's the same bait.
thing.
Same thing. I honestly think the striper guys like to call it the umbrella rig.
Yeah.
And the bass guys call it the A-rig. That's about the only difference in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's a difference.
Yeah. I think
I think it's the same thing.
But where he is, I would love to take an A-rig over there and throw it around,
oh, no doubt.
especially in another couple of weeks when for them, about the 1st of November is when it really fires up and gets good. We used to always go to Toledo the first week of November.
How far is he from Toledo?
Oh, hour and a half, 2 hours.
Hour and a half, 2 hours. Listen, it's the prettiest anybody video, just bassy looking stuff where he was at. That was
It
Caddo.
all looks like that.
I know, man. I was just like, dude,
Most of the
throwing
lakes
that
look
wacky
just
everywhere.
like that.
Really?
Uh-huh.
In Louisiana?
Uh-huh.
Okay, good food and good fishing. I
There you
can
go.
work with that. While they're still trying to answer that, because nobody's going to ask a question
Hey, it worked.
until that. Oh, it did work. Well, hell, you guys are still here.
Awesome.
There it is. I knew it was going to kick off. So you guys are gone. Anyway,
Don't need to hit the button.
nah, heck with it. Ain't come over here. All right. Okay. So that being said, do you find that when you catch a fish on one of those rigs, they're belly hooked, head hooked, tail hooked, and sometimes in the mouth?
They usually have one in the mouth, and then the other 4 get them at wherever.
But not
juncture they're at.
all the time.
Not all the time. No, especially if they get the
can
back
happen.
one.
Yeah.
It can happen. But yeah, not all the time. Like I said, especially if he gets the back one, a lot of times that's the only one because it sticks back a little further. They just get it in the mouth.
Yeah. And so some states, though, you can only use X amount of hooks on a rig, right?
Tennessee, I know is 1. You can only use 3, and you got to use 2 dummies.
And 2 dummies.
Alabama,
sure.
I believe. Doesn't Alabama have a hooks?
5.
Yeah, 5.
5 hooks. And I guess Georgia, you can use 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, like that. So while they're doing that, Ultimate Angler
Mhm.
on Guntersville at the same time as the Big Bass Bash, how many boats do you expect to be on there that weekend? In a given day. It's just in those 2 tournaments alone, not counting Georgia.
They should get a little bit of a break Thursday because the big bass is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They'll get a little bit of a break. Saturday and Sunday are usually Friday and Saturday are usually the worst 2 days.
Mhm.
So Friday and Saturday, it'll be bad. They usually have between over 500 entries in big bass, and I think there's 200 in Ultimate Angler. So
That's a lot of boats.
it could, and then whoever goes fishing. So it could be 1,000 boats. We were out there. It was actually last weekend. Kim went to a ram. He goes, "There's no parking." We went to another ram. He goes, "There's no parking." I'm like, "We're going to park," and we literally parked in the grass. Jordan Lee put a post up that morning at 6:15. There's no parking with everybody fishing. I mean, every ramp was packed. So it could be upwards of 1,000 boats. Now there's going to be a big congregation on that north end up there with those mats. That place will be. You could probably walk from boat to boat.
Hey, will you type in my email, Danny@fngo.com,
Yep.
Tony? So Daniel Cross, I appreciate that. Tony is typing my email right now. Send me an email, and then I will, figure out how to get those. We'll hook up. We'll connect with that. But I appreciate that. Clayton wants to know: do you use only white flukes on your A-rig, or what color, or a color at a time, or something? He doesn't use flukes very often.
I don't. I use. They seem to bite 2.8 Kitex the best. Sometimes we'll go up as high as like a suicide shad, like a 4-inch. The one I prefer is a Rapala Mayer because you can put 5 of those suckers on there and catch fish all day and they don't tear up. The other ones, the Kitex, they're just not as durable. But normally I'm throwing a 2.8 Tech.
Yeah.
So some sort of white with one oddity in there, whether that's Pro Blue or a different color. I got one that's going to be different. It's usually on the back arm.
So let me ask you, if you keep getting hit on that back arm,
Mm-hmm.
then will you switch all the other ones? Like just say if all of them are white and that one's just green pumpkin for the hell of what's that green pumpkin?
Yeah.
And the green pumpkin one keeps getting nailed. Will you ever go back and switch the other 4 all to green pumpkin?
I may, but if I'm still catching them, usually not. Because they're usually picking out that one that looks a little bit different
For a reason. Okay, that makes sense. Nobody got the question yet?
No.
Not even close. Let me put it that way. Not even close.
Not even close?
No, not really.
Well, hell, I'll keep spy bait for myself then. You guys keep on. You want to read the question one more time?
Sure.
Just one more time before we continue the conversation.
All right. In the 55 years of the Bassmaster Classic, how many official practice days have there been? And what 2 years had the most official practice days? It's not a trick question. I promise you.
Are you calling them dumb?
No.
This time.
But they questioned.
No.
They said I had a trick question a couple weeks ago when I did.
Oh yeah.
I think AI must be spitting out the same answer because it's like the same dates and same numbers.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I keep saying, like, I'm seeing the same thing over and over again.
I
Pretty
went
close.
through Bassmaster. I
Tell them how you got
researched
it.
this.
Where did you find the information?
Bassmaster Magazine.
Bassmaster Magazine. All right, Patricia Leanne Shaw. This is one thing that, I kind of agree with you. I don't know about the grass, but the best grass bait is a Rapala floating minnow. All I know is that growing up, that was my topwater
It was.
for all the 80s. Even when the Bango lure came out, I was always, it was always that silver-sided. That's the one I like the best,
like
the silver-sided.
Black-sided.
You like that one better?
Yeah, the gold.
I was always the silver, but I guess that would be perfect because it doesn't dive down deep enough to
I
really
throw
get into
it.
that grass.
I throw it in the fall. I throw it. That's the
Yeah.
only time of the year I throw it, but I do throw it in the fall. The one that's really good is the Spro McDart. It comes through grass really, really well.
Mm-hmm. I like the McDart.
It's a good one.
Yeah,
I do, but you did say that you're like when you threw that
Mhm.
last time. You're like, dude, talking about with grass. That was
Yeah.
like,
I had no trouble.
yeah, it was amazing right there. So let me ask you this: while they're continuing to try to answer the impossible question, maybe you should just start recycling all of them. We'll just start all
It's
over.
easier for me.
Yeah. What do you think? Okay, let me rephrase it like this. If you were fishing the big bass as opposed to the ultimate angler, because you're looking for one fish, right?
Yeah.
One fish. These guys are looking for the best 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but if you have to go out there on Guntersville for one fish, what would you be throwing right now? Or if you were fishing it next weekend, at least what would you start with?
Plopper.
A plopper.
I would. I'd get on those shallow humps, and throw a plopper. There's some big fish, and it's all close to the main river. It's all offshore, but it's shallow, and a lot of those fish, that wind gets pushing up on there, right, and that bait fish. We still had brim spawning. We had a brim spawn the last full moon. I've been catching fish off the same brim bed, which is that video that I'm gonna drop this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I've been catching fish on that sucker since June. It's just every time you pull up there, and some days are better than others.
Right.
But I mean, it's crazy how many fish congregate around there. You'll see brim that are big, half the size of your hand, just floating dead. That's been hit and killed. So I would probably start out with that. I would stay around grass close to the main river, throw a fluke, Daracoop. The only thing about Daracoop is they're hard to land.
Right.
With that one little hook. But that or swim a worm through there. I don't know how many packs of that viber worm I went through this summer, just swimming a worm.
But that's what you would start off with, a plopper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll get back to what I think you would do for the ultimate angler in a second. Has anyone have any experience in Raccoon Creek on Guntersville?
I fished it. I've caught fish in there. Like I said, I'm on the south end, so a lot of times, I mean, it's a hike to go up there. I do go up there, especially in the fall. I fish that way tend a little bit more, but I know the south end better, so I tend to stay from waterfront, Mink Creek, that down.
Gotcha. All right, too. And I forgot to do this earlier. Again, it's been one of those days. If you're interested in the Groove products that we've been talking about for a month or two now, all the stock's going to be in stock Saturday. Everything will be available and they'll be shipping out next week. If you type in FNGO, capital FNGO10, you get 10% off your order. So you really should try some of these new tackle boxes that they got out there. And the people that had them back before with the old owners had it, they're coming back and they're seeing they're available and they're like, I got to get them. I got to get them. So this has been around for a while and everybody that had them loved them. So again, if you're interested, go to groovefishing.com. And if you're interested in buying, type in capital FNGO10 and you get 10% off your order. And that's on everything right now. Highly recommend you guys go doing that. Floating long A is one of my favorite floating minnow baits. Yeah, I haven't thrown a long A in a while.
I don't know if I even have any left.
Really? It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, that's been a long time.
If Paul Marks is 17th place in the EQ.
Cool.
Paul can do it. It wouldn't shock me if he won this one. I mean, you know how it goes. Now, if you were fishing the Ultimate Angler, what do you think those guys are going to be doing? Because that's how many days?
3.
They're going to cut it down to what? How's the cut?
I think I heard somebody said they're going to cut down to maybe 50
on the final day.
And I don't know. I'd be surprised if they don't have them less than that, but that's what I heard. I think those guys are going to end up punching and frogging. So some of the posts I've seen from the anglers, they have been in those mats. I was up there last Sunday. I ran into Emil, Lee Livesey, Dustin Connell, and they were all more towards that north end of the lake. So, you know, that's my guess. They're putting in at Goose Pond. There's great mats for right there. All they got to do is just basically drop trolling motor. I think that's probably where the bigger bags are going to come from. That's how that's how most of the fall elite was won, except for the guy that actually won it was up the river throwing chatterbait. There's a lot of fish caught punching. Okay. But they're going to have a lot. I don't think they can just do that because of the fact that they got the big bass. Mm-hmm. And those guys can put in any ramp they want to put in at. I think they're going to have a lot of company, so they may have to do a little something different.
Okay, I got you. Gary Heath, I appreciate the update on the baseball score. If any of you guys know what the score of the football game is, you can throw that up as well. I'd much rather I don't know. I'm not really a fan of either the Yanks or the Red Sox, so Detroit won. That's all that matters, and the Braves are at home, so it doesn't matter to me for sure. Do you think, given the amount of boats and those two different events going on at the same time, there's going to be the possibility of confrontation? People getting on the same mats, getting too close, trying to fish for the same fish?
Oh, I'm sure it will be.
Absolutely.
I mean, I had guys pulling behind me the other day. Now, the only problem was I was fishing the weekend they had the frog tournament. Mm-hmm. And
that was a pretty big tournament, right? Yeah,
I sat there. I sat on one spot just north of the main bridge. And for an hour and 20 minutes, they were coming by 10 at a time. There's 348 boats in it. And most of them were going up the river. And literally, they'd come 10 at a time, come by us, and you'd look back under the bridge, you see 10 more coming. And they did it for an hour and 15 minutes. But, yeah, there's going to be some issue. It is what it is. You got that many guys in that small of a place.
Yeah.
So it'll work its way out. It always shakes itself out. It always does.
So give me your guess on what you think the biggest bass will be caught as far as in the big bass bash. You had to just guess.
Between 8 and 9.
Between 8 and 9. You don't think we'll go double digits right now?
The last couple of years, I don't think they have. I think a 9 won it last year, and it was bumping 9. I think the year before. So.
All right. What do you think it will take to win the Ultimate Angler?
I'm going to say if you catch 65 for 3 days, you're going to be 65. I don't know that I'd launch the boat. With the current state of events of that many people on the water, that's over 20 a day. I mean, somebody might catch a bigger bag. I mean, they're there.
Yeah. Because, I mean, what were they? They were 30-pound bags in the summer.
No,
when was that?
That was November.
Oh, last year. It's been that long.
Yeah, it was in November, December. But those are scope fish.
Yeah.
They can't scope.
Right. That's true on this. That's true.
And that's like the elite there going next year. They won't showcase Guntersville. They're going to be there in February. It could be 70 degrees. It could be snowing,
Mhm.
and they can't look at them. If they could scope on Guntersville, it'd be 30 pounds a day. But without that, I don't think without the scope and with the amount of boats on the water and fighting over the mats that are there, I think they're going to end up cannibalizing each other.
That's what I forgot to mention is it's a no scope tournament.
All right.
So give me 5 anglers that if you were a betting man have a shot to win.
Jacob Wall, Jordan Lee, Wheeler. You can't knock him out.
No.
DC.
Gotta go with my buddy DC. And maybe
Give me a wild card.
trying to think who else is there. Swindle.
You think Swindle has a shot?
I do.
The wild card.
Wouldn't it be
Yeah.
something? No, he ain't won one in a while like that, but he wins that 500 grand.
Hey, 500 is 500. I don't care what stuff it
Somebody's
looks
gonna
like.
win it.
Somebody's going to win it. Now, I haven't looked at all the rules. How many spots are they paying down underneath that? Or is it just a
I don't know.
see? I haven't heard anything about that.
I don't know.
I've heard $500,000, $500,000 over and over
Yeah.
and over again, but I haven't heard about them
Yeah.
paying down
Yeah.
X amount of spots.
And like I said, they got the best from all the tours, whether it's the MPFL,
Yeah.
whether it's, hell,
You got collegiate anglers there and some that, qualified through like
right.
lower level
You
things.
got Hackney.
Hackney's there. I mean, and
When
you
you
got,
start picking 5, somebody's gonna get left out. Hackney,
yeah.
Kyle Welcher,
Yeah. That's what I'm
Drew,
saying. Drew Cook.
There's some great anglers there. Wes Logan almost won the fall tournament there when they had the elites during the COVID year. Other than a fish or two key fish he lost in a mat, he'd have won that tournament. Easy.
So I would say it is probably the greatest concentration of talent
Yes. Without a doubt.
maybe ever assembled in
I
a
agree.
bass tournament.
I agree.
So Ken has looked up the payouts for it. First place 500,000, second place 130, third's 80, fourth is 70, fifth is 50, sixth is 45, and then it drops 5,000 each one below that to 11th through 25th place is 7,500 each.
Okay, so they're going to pay out at least 25 spots.
Correct.
And second place in this is more than in an elite tournament.
130. Yeah.
Listen, and I know the state of Alabama has put some money behind this and all that, but if you consider the money that's been given, that's going to be, awarded, the amount of talent there,
Yeah.
$1.3 million in payout.
1.3 million in
Yeah.
payouts,
Mhm.
and you got 200 of the best anglers in the world from the 3 major circuits, from college, from some smaller level stuff.
Hey,
That is awesome.
here's you a couple more. Don't count out Hayden Marbot. Don't count out the Nut Brothers. I'm sure I don't know that they qualified, but I bet they did.
The younger ones, yeah. some young kids
There's
over
I'm gonna tell you a lot of those Sunday nighters. I fished one this summer, and there's 2 college kids rolled in there. We was a 3 fish limit. Rolled in there and dropped 19 on scales. 3 fish.
It can happen.
Jacob Wall was there. He was fishing next to me. He had 15, 16. That's the best he could do.
Ott Defoe is a name you haven't brought up.
Yeah.
Ott Defoe.
Strader.
So
Andy,
that's what I'm saying.
if Andy Morgan qualified, he's probably one of the best pitchers and flippers other than Hackney and Denny Breyer there ever was.
and then
I hadn't seen a roster. But
I've seen one a while back, and Patricia says 51 through 100 pays 1,000.
yeah, on a $500 buy-in, that's pretty good odds.
Yeah.
Pretty good odds.
So what's crazy about it though is, and it really is, it's just you go down the who's who of fishing, and they're going to be on Guntersville.
Yep.
And then a ton of up and comers.
Mm-hmm. And you got BFL regionals. Slick Son, I think, qualified for it.
Well, that's how I think. If I'm not mistaken, that's how Brooks Anderson.
Probably BFL regional.
I think it was a BFL regional.
Yeah.
And so you got a bunch of those guys going to be there. And like I said, some college kids for whatever. It's the biggest collection of hammers ever.
Yep.
Now, here's the thing, though. Why is it not getting more publicity? It's getting it, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think it's not getting the publicity that, to me, an event of this caliber with the amount of, that decorated amount of anglers fishing it?
I think number one, it's the first. Number two, it doesn't have a big organization promoting it. MLS not promoting it. Bass isn't promoting it. I mean, where do we hear about all these big things? It's on one of those. NPFL's not promoting it. So it's just being promoted via the Ultimate Angler. So like I said, it's just not that they don't I can tell you, they don't have the reach that a Bassmaster does.
Right.
If this was a Bassmaster brought everybody together at that point, then yes, it would be all over everything. There'd be billboards on the side of the road. But like I said, first year, and like I said, they're not promoting this. I'm not seeing anything on Bassmaster MLF that mentions anything about Ultimate Angler.
Is it capped at 200?
I think it's 200.
Well, they probably can't promote it much more now because nobody else can get into it.
No.
No, it's qualifier.
Prior to that, there was hardly anything at all.
Right. And I mean, I can understand why Bass and them aren't promoting it. You can understand it.
They didn't get the $1 million.
Right.
That's what state of Alabama put up, was $1 million.
State of Alabama put in a chunk of change, which of
Yep.
course, Alabama, and the thing is, they're doing it for tourism.
Right.
It's an investment to get this started.
That's exactly right. I mean, I don't know that the town of Guntersville would be much if it wasn't for that lake and the fish. I forget what the numbers were, but they were astronomical. I mean, everybody in this county could almost retire on the amount of money that fishing brings into Guntersville from a dollar amount every year. It's through the roof.
Well, you remember the all the people just raising cane when they were thinking about putting those slot limits or
I was just
Oh, yeah.
to
all
bring
this.
that up.
You were like, yeah, I mean, and that wasn't on Guntersville, was it? That was on like Smith and some other lakes.
Yeah, that was on your Coosa.
Yakuza
Coosa
River
River.
Lakes and all that. And one of the biggest reasons why people were fussing, I mean, some people were fussing because of the fishing aspect, but it was the dollars that are brought into those communities from fishing.
Yeah.
A lot of those Alabama towns depend on
Yes.
the economy, depends on those fishing tournaments. That's why Logan Martin get visited by the elites, by NPFL.
Yes.
They want it.
They have
need
to
it.
have it.
And that's on the NPFL's 2026 schedule they released today.
Well, they got two Coosa, May and June.
Yeah.
One's
Lake
Lake and then Logan Martin.
yeah. And when I was trying to read them out, Tony goes, and I couldn't remember one of them, and I was looking at it, he goes, they ought to be going back to Logan Martin because that was a great event. And then I figured it out. Yeah, they are going to Logan Martin again.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure. Aaron, he was a bookie at one time. Got to get sports books involved with some odds.
Yep. Yeah.
Aaron, let's set that up. We can just have our own little Fish North Georgia. We'll do it like they do up here at the convenience store with them machines. We'll figure out a way to pay you guys right there. 49ers are winning right there. Watch out, Jordan Lee, White Owl for sure.
Yep.
And Captain Jay Morgan, let's not forget Jacob Wheeler. He said that. He said, Wheeler, you can never count out Wheeler in any of it.
And he's running a new motor.
What's you running?
Suzuki.
I did not. Oh,
He
that's right. I
ju-
saw a
he just
post today. He
signed-
signed with Suzuki.
With Suzuki.
Is he the first or the biggest? He's the biggest to sign with Suzuki.
He's the biggest. They got Gerald Spoor. He just actually built the house down for my in-laws. Adrian Avina,
Mhm.
his roommate. Dean Rojas. So they got.
But Wheeler is the top dog on that.
Yeah,
For sure.
sure.
Is this going to be a yearly event?
My thought is, I think so.
I guess they'll figure out the economic impact. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
They'll do a study and they'll figure it out. I guarantee you, if it's a positive economic impact, or at least shows that if they promote it and work it, it can be profitable in a year or two, it will do that. I'm a marshal for the Ultimate Angler, King of Bass. There you go. That's awesome.
Nice.
That is absolutely awesome. Aaron, the state should promote it and make it a holiday.
I agree.
Hey, listen,
I'm a half resident, so yes, I agree.
the opening day of deer season for a lot of people in a lot of states used to be out of school. It was a holiday.
So if Cranking and Yankin's still here, there's a parish over there around Eunice, Louisiana, that they close school for opening day of squirrel season.
For squirrel season.
It's a big deal. I don't know what parish it is, but I think it's over there around Eunice, west of Lafayette. They literally close school for opening day of squirrel season. Might as well. Ain't nobody gonna show up.
Well, that's true. Yeah, they're not going to be squirrel hunting out there. Speaking of Lay Lake, what would you do if you were on that lake tomorrow?
Nobody
ever gets a question.
Spinnerbait.
Adam K. was
I throw a spinnerbait. I throw a topwater, swim jig. That's pretty much my staple. Baby brush hog.
Yeah.
On Texas rig, or Carolina rig, even up shallow. They
That's
eat
what
it.
you do tomorrow.
Yep. And when you get done fishing that Carolina rig and that Texas rig, just medium speed it back to the boat. I had a co-angler with me one day. He couldn't catch anything. I said, look, I tied him up a Carolina rig. I said, you fish this thing. I said, when you get done fishing it, medium retrieve back to the boat. When we got back, he had 5 fish in the live well, and every one of them bit it, medium retrieve back to the boat. Them spots are just going to eat it.
Okay, makes sense. Captain Morgan, word must have been switching from phone to TV. So many names, hard to keep up with. Really cool deal, I think.
Yeah.
And I think so too. St. Landry Parish.
There you go.
Much further south than me.
Okay. Yeah, they do it.
Them old Cajuns down there.
Hey,
opening
what
day
we
of
do,
squirrel
man.
season, man. You get the day off down
You got to
there.
eat.
You got to eat squirrels. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like squirrel. I do. Do you think the 50-mile-an-hour speed limit for tournaments will ever fly?
No.
I don't know. How do you enforce it?
They do up north.
Do
They
do it
got
with electronics.
They got guns. A lot of the Elite Series guys, I know Matt Herron was one of them, got a ticket coming through certain places.
Yep.
I think it's up on the St. Lawrence. Isn't it, Tony?
Yeah, I remember it being somewhere up there. Yes.
And they'll it's like riding down the road. They got cops over there and with the radar guns, and they'll zap them and pull them
'Cause he
over
had
and
to-
write them a ticket.
On that one, I think he self-reported.
He
and then
self-reported,
got
had to.
DQ'd, right? Or
No, he
Maybe
lost
penalty?
time. He lost like 40. They tagged him like 40 minutes at the dock the
That's
next day.
minutes.
If you get a speeding ticket,
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you broke the law.
I think you should not get docked until after it goes to court.
But that's too late.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tournament's
but I
over
mean,
with.
how do you dock a guy? Well, what happens if you dock a guy, cost him the tournament, but he goes to court and beats it? Then what happens? Let's say the guy was winning the tournament.
He pays his money and he signs up again for next year. I don't know.
See, I think that, you see what I'm saying? That is guilty until proven innocent.
Well, he admitted it. He said, I came around the corner. I was clipping
I'm
pretty
just
good.
saying
Isn't
if
that
you
the way it
didn't.
is today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just saying that's the way my brain thinks. Okay, well, we're supposed to go to court. You can fight it in court. You could possibly beat it.
So what you're
Maybe.
saying is it's rigged. They got the cops out there getting the guys that are in the lead, helping their buddies out that aren't.
Well,
I'm just-
that's
I'm more-
exactly what it is. It's a conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy.
I mean,
Huh?
it could be used that way, I guess.
Would that not be the same, Danny, as if I got caught cheating, shoving waste on a fish, and I go to court and I beat it after I got disqualified?
Well, they caught you with the weights in hand, though, and you had like 800 witnesses.
But I beat it.
Who beat it, though?
I beat it in court.
But I don't think you would beat it.
What?
You ain't going to beat that speeding ticket from that cop either.
I'm just saying, look, like if
That's
so,
what I'm trying to.
but
what I'm trying to
I
make.
understand what you're saying. But when you weigh that fish in, there are tons of witnesses. I don't think you'll ever beat that. But if you just got
Well,
one singular cop out there with a radar
He's
gun,
not singular. There's always two in a boat.
Well, the thing is, though, you can go to court and fight that the radar gun wasn't calibrated or his certificates were out of date. There's ways to beat a speeding ticket.
That's right.
So yeah, I mean, there's a possibility. But you get caught with putting weights in a fish, you get caught putting weights in a
yeah,
fish.
that's what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
you see what I'm
But
saying?
I
though.
know what Kevin's trying to say too. I mean, you know,
I know. I agree with him. I agree
Yeah.
with him. No, I know exactly what
it's
you're
a
saying.
very good point. I mean, you're not guilty until you're. I mean, but if he admitted to it, I guess. But.
Yeah, let's just say you don't admit it. Well, I mean, in our scenario, you're not admitting to it. You're saying I didn't speed.
Correct.
They say, well, the cop says you were.
Yeah.
Well, you get to go to court on it, but they go ahead and they DQ you or whatever it is, whatever, and it costs you $100,000. I'd be pissed.
I'm sure there's something in the rules. I haven't read the rules to know exactly how they're written, but if you get stopped for a crime violation, you still are upheld to the Bass's rules, regardless of what the outcome of the actual ticket would be.
So their rule is if you get stopped.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm assuming that it's not part of whether you're guilty by law or not. But if you got stopped for breaking that law during the tournament, you're now helped.
I get that. Okay, I see that. Cranky Yank goes, why do you need to go over 50 to go fishing?
Yeah,
No, I get it. I get that too. And did Wheeler get an icon?
he's been an
We-
icon.
we-
He's been icon.
Yeah.
Nothing. They don't win it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they didn't get the right answer. They didn't win.
Yeah, no, Wheeler helped design the inside of the icon.
Yeah,
Helped
he's been in
design it?
since
Okay.
it came out.
Will y'all have a Hartwell report come Monday or Tuesday? We'll be on the water all day Saturday. Oh, he'll have us a Hartwell report.
Yep.
Okay, he will be on the water all day Saturday, Sunday, bass, crappie, and cats. Let us know, buddy, for sure. Yeah, what are you looking at?
You want me to give him the?
Give him the answer because ain't nobody got it.
All right. There's 167 days of official practice. 1993 and 1994 each had 10 days of practice. 93 and 94. Adam K was the closest with 167 days. He was the first one to pop it up.
Oh, listen. All right, so Tony, you put that answer, and I'm like, somebody got it right there.
Well, this way they can take a picture because if it gets recycled again,
It'll probably get
I'll ask
recycled.
him again next week.
yeah.
Kevin got that OJ lawyer. That's what. that.
Yeah.
When do you think? Let me ask you this one more question. For we'll call it a night and go home a little early on this. But with a pattern that whatever is working on right now, whatever's working right now on Guntersville, how long will that? Let's say we don't get any major like crazy ass early cold and all that. How long will it stay? Basically, what we're fishing with right now.
It'll stay for a while. We'll probably see it all the way through the month of October, probably halfway through November. It was usually around Thanksgiving those fish started really sliding out. It was when those big bags really started coming. But like I said, the water temperature the other day was still warmer than I thought it would be.
3 weeks. Maybe, Brian. You never know.
Yeah, maybe. Like I said, if it just depends. I haven't seen in certain places. I've seen the major schooling, but I know I was fishing off the main river the other day, and there's a ton of bait in a lot of places, but it's like the fish hadn't quite made it there yet because the water stayed so warm. Where I was catching the fish the other morning, it was just a trough, and they had herded bait up in a little trough or ditch. And there was just a wad of fish sitting in there. Like I said, I caught them every cast for probably 30 or 45 minutes.
Okay.
But it'll continue. And that A-rig bites is fixing to fire up here in another 2 or 3 weeks.
2 or 3
really
weeks.
good.
I got you. All right. Well, with that, we will call it a night. So again, guys, listen, you and Ken and I will be we'll be at the Ultimate Angler. So if you guys are out there next week,
Come say hello.
Maybe we'll bump into each other. It's going to be interesting to see. I'm really the closer we get to the event, the more I'm piqued. My interest is piqued by number one, the amount of great competitors, but also too, I want to see how it coincides with that big bash and just see, what all happens with that. So, guys, with that, we're going to let you guys go and finish watching the baseball games and football games. We appreciate you guys joining us. I want to go ahead and tell everybody right now, there will be no lunch break tomorrow. There'll be no lunch break tomorrow because I've got to go, of course, to the funeral. You heard about that if I was talking about it today, if you watched the lunch break. So we will join you again Monday. We'll be back Monday at 12. If you're going fishing this weekend, hunting, whatever it is you do, number one, enjoy it. But number two, be careful because we want to see you guys come back next week and we'll continue the conversations. And
Wear your PFDs.
wear your PFDs for sure, Tony says. Absolutely. So you guys be good. We'll see you on the next one. Enjoy your weekend, and we're out of here.